Hi, this is Robert Polinick, the owner of Brutalirongym Gym. I'm doing a squat workout today. This is actually the bar that's in front of me here. And I wanted to show just a quick warm-up variation that I do. I change around what I do each time, but the general premise is something that warms up my knees, something that warms up my hip, just allows me to feel better for squatting. So today what I'm doing is using a band that's attached to our squat rack. I'm going to put the band just below, just behind my knee, and I'm going to put it kind of above the knee joint. And then what I'm looking to do is a step back, gather tension on that band. My toes are going to kind of line up equally with each other. And then the tension of that band is pulling my heel up off the ground, my knee forward. So my goal is to drive my heel down into the ground by flexing my quadricep muscles. So what this does is it's called a TKE, a terminal knee extension. And it helps to fire the muscles of the quadricep, help to kind of align everything through the kneecap. It's just a really good kind of warm-up for the knee joint and for kind of evening out the contraction around the patella tendon, like the kneecap. So it's really good. We'll do about 10 to 20 of these per side. And then just for the sake of time, I'll move over to the other side. So again, the idea is you're pressing the heel down into the ground, and you want to flex the muscles of the quad forcefully. So it's not just touch my heel to the ground, it's actually once I get to the ground, I'm trying to drive through and flex those muscles. So really good way, again, to kind of warm up the knee joint. And then what I'm doing to warm up my hip is I'm actually doing just a split stance, body weight kind of single leg deadlift. So I'm actually going to have the leg I'm working on in the front. The other leg, the one I'm not focusing on, the toe is in line with my heel. And then from there, I'm just trying to keep a neutral spine. And I'm trying to just basically push my hip back and feel a stretch through my hamstrings and glutes. I then want to kind of lift back up. Now, this looks easy because it's just body weight. But the idea is I'm not leaning forward. I'm pushing my hip back. So if I were holding onto a bar or dumbbells, they would be going straight down towards my foot as my hip is stretching back. What this does, it helps us really pull through the hamstring muscle, and we also work on a stabilized and braced core, meaning that as my hip is going back, I'm not rounding my back like this. I'm actually bracing and holding, so that way as I'm pushing back from my hip to my shoulders, everything stays in a nice straight position. And this would be kind of the same bracing I would need for a barbell squat or deadlift, or RDL, stiff leg deadlift, any kind of lower body movement where you have a bar loaded on your spine or in your hands. So you can see I switched positions. And again, the front leg is the leg I'm really kind of working. The back leg is there just for balance. Keeping my core braced, my spine neutral, and just pushing into that hip. So I'll do 10 on each side, and then to kind of get the whole system warmed up, I'll just do some bodyweight squats. Now, my squat position is going to be the same, like my foot stance and width is the same as when I have the barbell on my back. And I'm just going to basically squat down and back up. Again, being mindful of my core being braced and my spine staying neutral. Now I'm extending my arms just as a little bit of counterweight so I can stay in a good position. And that's all it is just kind of squatting down, driving back up, squatting down, driving back up. What I'm working to do is get mentally connected with the muscles that will slow my descent and that will fire to drive me back up. So I'm not just kind of like bouncing up and down. I'm being mindful of stretching and squeezing and having tension through the muscles that I want. So I'll do 3 rounds of this combined with just kind of a couple warm-up sets of the barbell in between. But I just wanted to show that warm-up routine. Very quick, very simple. Doesn't require you to go run around the gym. Doesn't require a lot of equipment. So really good warm-up routine. So I'll go through that some more, warm up my squat, and then I'll share with you guys the squat variations that I'm doing today. So thank you for watching. Give this a try. Anytime you need a warm-up, just a really good option. Make sure you always pay attention to your knees, your hips, and then mindfulness of the muscle contractions. Okay, thanks, and I'll see you soon for the squat. Okay, so now I'm doing the squats for the workout. I'm actually doing 2 styles today. I'm going to do a powerlifting style squat to work on powerlifting specific strength. I like to compete in powerlifting, so it's good to kind of get used to squatting to parallel. Helps work more of the internal, external rotator muscles. along with the thigh muscles, compared to the second variation of squat I'm going to be doing, which is called a 90-90 squat. And that's basically where you squat down, not to parallel, you're squatting down to where your shin to your thigh equals 90 degrees and your thigh to your waist equals 90 degrees. So that's a style of squat that matches more kind of athletic explosion. So it helps develop more straightforward movement. So whether it's running, whether it's vertical jumping, bounds, any kind of thing like that. So it's more of an athlete style squat for explosivity. And I like mixing that in because I like having more athleticism into my training as well. And I work with clients who have both goals. So I work with elite level powerlifters. I also work with professional athletes. So it's good for me to kind of blend both into my training and have fun with it. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the front view of these, and then I'll also show you the side view. So the first one I'll be doing is the powerlifting style squat. And again, the goal is to get down to parallel. And that's just a little more demand on the internal external rotator muscles of the hips. Okay, I'm just going to do 2 and 2. Good. Okay, good brace. Good. 1. 2. Good. Now for the 90-90, the stance is a little narrower. Same focus. Going to 90 degrees in both joints. Good. Okay. So that's the front view. I'll now go ahead and show you the side view. Okay, now we have the side view of these squats. And the main thing we're looking for, and what you'll see is the difference is the powerlifting squat's a little bit wider to allow for opening of my hips to get down to parallel. And that's again the height where my knee is about the same height as my hip. And then I'll be doing the 90-90 squat, which is a narrower stance. And again, looking for my shin to thigh to be 90 degrees and my thigh to torso to be 90 degrees. And then you drive and explode from there. Okay, so I'll show you 2 reps of each. Okay, now the 90-90. Good. Okay, and then I'll keep progressing. My goal today is to do just some good heavy weight for doubles on both exercises. And then I'll show you the exercises I'll be pairing after that. Good way to just blend in kind of both benefits of each squat. So the parallel one, the powerlifting style, a little more internal, external rotation. And then the 90-90 is a little more athleticism, explosiveness. Okay, you can give each of those a try if you want. You can separate them in different workouts or try them in the same one like this. Okay, this is my last working set. So worn out, we'll see how it goes. But still trying for 2 and 2. Okay. Oof. What good. So, with today's workout, I did 5 sets of 2 and 2 at the top weight. And this is a good workout where it's kind of like a lighter day for me in regards to my powerlifting progressions. So I've squatted over 600 in knee sleeves. So squatting 315 for 2 is not that hard on the nervous system. So it's a good way to kind of allow the nervous system to recover between heavier powerlifting based workouts. It's also still a good way to make it challenging by adding in the 90-90 squats, which are good for, again, that explosive development. So if you want to give these a try, go ahead, enjoy. I'll now go ahead and set up the next part of the workout, and I'll show you in the next video. Okay, thanks for watching. Okay, so this is the exercise that I used after the squats. I'm doing a Bulgarian split squat and I have a kettlebell behind me that I'm using for weight. It's actually a hang hold rather than like a goblet hold. So it's going to hang hold, and then I have bands here. And what I'm doing with the bands is I'm going to be pulling actually kind of like crisscross, and the band is going to be trying to pull the lead leg in, and I have to try to externally rotate. So I'm trying to squat like on a single leg squat on that lead leg while maintaining external rotation. I don't want to externally rotate too far. It's just basically trying to hold the best position, which would be kind of my kneecap over my second and third toe. So over the kind of the midline of the foot. I'm going to try to maintain that position. So I'll go ahead and show you kind of like what the first set of each leg looks like. So I'm throwing the band on. And again, it's going to pull from the opposing side, so that way the band wants to pull my knee in, and I have to externally rotate out. I'm going to be using the handle here just for light balance. Try not to pull on that, just basically just trying to help myself balance. I have my back leg for balance as well. I would like to have about like 99.9% of my weight on this front leg. I'm going to squat down. I'm going to grab the kettlebell and basically drive up. So down and up. And I'm trying to go big range of motion. Now the kettlebell will touch early, more before I hit parallel, but that's okay for this variation. If I want to, I can elevate my foot and get a bigger range of motion if I want to use that as a variation in another workout. So I'm going for about 10 reps. So come up and down. So this has a lot of kind of complexity. We're working that internal, external rotation. We're also working just balance of the hamstrings and quads in that lead leg. And we're working unilateral development to make sure I don't have a strong side or a weak side. So again, rearrange everything where I want it. Get most of my balance on that front leg. Come down, then come up. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Whew. So the band tension should definitely be strong enough that it wants to pull your knee in, but not so strong that you can't correct that and maintain a proper position. Kettlebell I'm using, I think, is 80 pounds. Just heavy enough to make it challenging. And I'll be doing 3 rounds of this. So section was my third one. So this is what it should look like at the end. Pretty exhausted, pretty worn out. We have one more movement to go. So I'll wrap all this up and I'll show you that. Okay, so now we're outside. We're going to do the last drill. So I've been doing a couple sets. Again, this is my last set. I like to film the last one because it's kind of like self-discipline for me to stay on top of it and still do a good job when filming. Also gives me a chance to practice, make sure I don't bust my teeth. So what I'm doing here is lateral jumps. I'll do a bajillion different variations all the time. Just like having some kind of lateral explosivity when it just kind of fits in the program in different times, usually on my lighter main lift day. So like we said, the squats we did, they go up to 300, it was actually a 55-pound bar, so 325 pounds for just like a lot of sets of doubles and stuff. So kind of okay weight for explosivity, okay weight for like a lighter day of strength training, kind of recovery day of strength training, but it still has some damage. Then we showed you the Bulgarian split squats with that weird bandedness, which helped work on internal, external rotation, along with unilateral element. So that was really good, kind of beat up a lot of the small muscles. And this is again another way to beat up the small muscles. I'll then come back later in the week, a couple days later, maybe 3-4 days later, and do like either heavy powerlifting style strength-based squat or a heavy powerlifting style kind of strength-based deadlift variation. Just kind of depends on what I'm working on at the moment, what I'm working towards. So this is something we'll do to end on a medium heavy day for the big lifts, is something a little more explosive for lateral movement. So what I'm doing here is I'm not an amazing athlete. I'm 285 pounds, kind of heavy, but I try my best, and I like kind of playing with these movements. So if you try these, hopefully you can do them better than I can. But the idea here is I have the cones to give me a consistent distance that I'm looking to do. So I'm going to start with my outside foot in line with the cone. And my goal is I want to have a lateral jump to land by the other cone on my other foot. Now, when I land, we'll just do a short distance here, is when I land, I'm going to take my trailing leg, tap the ankle, and then come right back, tap, land, and I'm trying to stay in an athletic depth of position. So if looking from the side, I would want to be kind of in like that 90-90 angle, where like my thigh and my calf make a 90-degree angle, my torso and my thigh make a 90-degree angle. This is kind of like an athletic active position. So they call this an active position in like basketball, football, anything like that. So I don't want to be popping up high in my jumps, so I don't want to like jump up and down, up and down. So I want to kind of stay linear with my movement, kind of stay down nice and low. And that hits me to help work on catching my weight, then kind of like catching, stabilizing, and then explosive back out. I'll catch on this side. So you catch it, you balance, you decelerate, and explode. So it's a good drill. I typically will do, like in this drill, I'm doing just 10 jumps and a lot of sets. So the goal would be about 5 sets. Okay, enough BS, and let's give it a try. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. So it might not look like much, but it's pretty miserable on the hips, especially after everything else. So like I said, do about 5 sets, might do 10, 20 reps. Something just fun, good lateral movement. Works on unilateral stabilization, works on the internal, external hips, kind of everything that you would miss with two-legged movements, and everything that you would miss where your feet are in line with your hip, even if you're doing unilateral. Okay, so that's the whole workout. Give this a try. I'll have a write-up of it paired with this video. If you have any questions, if you need anything at all, just reach out to us. Our email is brutalirongym@gmail.com. Website is www.brutalirongym.com. So if you have any questions, need anything, let us know. We also have a free daily podcast, which is under the name of the gym, Brutal Iron Gym, on any podcast platform. We're up to like 800 some episodes. Let this jackass go past. But we're up to 800 some episodes and 97,000 downloads. So a lot of good content, and we'll answer any questions you want for free. So reach out to us, let us know if you need anything, and thank you for watching.